Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I proudly present to you the Royal Rumble 2008 DVD review, and I got it in finally. Thank you, Amazon. And anyway, I had this DVD, and I've watched this DVD over and over again. It was one of my favorite pay-per-views of 2008, mainly because it's just the Royal Rumble itself. And a lot of you thinking like, oh, well, it's John Cena return, that's why you like it so much. Well, no, you have it mistaken. Anyway, as you can see in the corner, we have the Royal Rumble. We're going to pull out the Royal Rumble and review it. So on the cover, we have John Cena, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, The Miz, Jeff Hardy, Mr. Kennedy, Matt Hardy, Shelton Benjamin, Randy Orton, Batista, Umaga, Rey Mysterio, Finlay, CM Punk, Mark Henry, and in the background MVP, and a lot of other miscellaneous people. So, take a look on the inside, and what pops up is the same freaking disc. Wow, surprisingly. Anyway. Royal Rumble 2008. The most unique match of the year comes to the most famous arena in the world. A shot of the main event at WrestleMania 24 is at stake in the Royal Rumble match in Madison Square Garden. Also, Jeff Hardy challenges Randy Orton for the WWE Championship. Rey Mysterio seeks to capture Edge's World Heavyweight Championship, and I read it like a freaking full-on sentence. It should be a period in there. Thank you, language arts teacher. And Ric Flair's career is in jeopardy or on the line when WWE presents the Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble. Anyway, so first match of the night is this match right here, ladies and gentlemen. The career-threatening match, Ric Flair versus MVP. It was a very nice and stiff match. I really enjoyed it. It was really cool. I think it was really awesome. I think it was a good match. And of course, I love Ric Flair. I'm a huge Ric Flair fan, and I'm glad to see him back anytime he comes back. And whether it's Raw, just to pop in for an appearance on the Slammy Awards or anything like that. But I love Ric Flair, and this was a good match. It was better than the one they had at No Way Out, and etc., etc. So yeah, the way how this match ended, MVP was going for the playmaker. Ric Flair countered it into a figure 4 leg lock, and MVP taps out. Next match, Chris Jericho versus JBL. My God. My boy, Chris Jericho, breaking the walls down and taking names. And, man, this was a pretty good match, I must say. It had one botch, which a lot of people make fun of, you know, like Chris Jericho, he's going in for that, Bulldog. And JBL falls like 3 seconds after Chris Jericho does, and people give hate on Chris Jericho for that. But you know what? Piss off. Chris Jericho, he was bleeding. I mean, I love blood. But my God, Chris Jericho's face was full of it. It was one of those bloodbaths, Eddie Guerrero versus JBL thing. And it's ironic JBL was in this match. Chris Jericho, this had a good feud. And I think Mike Adamle ruined him. He's like, my God, we have Chris Jericho and John Bradshaw Layfield, and this has been very personal. He tried to get a cheap pop from the crowd in Madison Square Garden, and they weren't going to say anything. Because he was like, well, this is a great crowd, an electric crowd. He was trying to get all these pops, and he got no pop at all. And he was like, Jeff Hardy, oh, man, that was good. Anyway, yeah, it was a good match. I mean, it ended in this qualification with Chris Jericho hitting JBL with a chair, and then he took the cord or the plug, I guess you could say, and choked JBL from the table, which I thought was genius, and I thought it was great also. Then we have the World Heavyweight Championship match, Edge versus Rey Mysterio. A pretty good match overall, and I think it was a really good way to get this feud going even more. I mean, it was one of those Vicky Guerrero things. I mean, Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder, they were in there in a little bit, but then they got thrown at a ringside, which was pretty good because they kind of kept getting interfered. And that's not that I don't like Edge or anything like that. I just wanted to see a good, clean match with Edge and Rey Mysterio because I know that they can put on a good show. And Rey Mysterio and Edge did not disappoint. It was a really good match. It was a pretty good match. It was kind of slow paced, but you know, what do you expect? I mean, but I thought it was a really good match. But then it got picked up the pace with Rey Mysterio and Edge, because Edge was on the offensive most of the time, and Rey Mysterio was kind of on the defensive because most of the time he was defending Edge from, you know, counterattack moves and stuff like that. So Hurricane Ranas, etc., etc. The way this match ended, Rey Mysterio He jumped out of the way from Edge's spear, and then Edge was on the ropes for the 619. Vicky Guerrero held on to Edge, one of those Shannon Moore, Matt Hardy 2003 Royal Rumble things with like Jeff Hardy, but it was different. So Vicky Guerrero held on, so she took the 619 and Edge did not, and basically Edge didn't get hit, and Rey Mysterio was on the apron, did a springboard. Edge speared him in midair, which was always cool, and that's nice. And the next match was Randy Orton versus Jeff freaking Hardy. He is the man. Jeff Hardy's the man. I like Jeff Hardy, and I like Randy Orton. And I don't care what you have to say. I like Randy Orton's character then, you know. He's getting stale now. Turn heel. Hashtag turn Randy heel. Please. And please is not in the hashtag, by the way. WWE Championship match, Randy Orton versus Intercontinental Champion Jeff Hardy. Now, Jeff Hardy, he had so much momentum. It was a great match right now, and it was a fun match, and it was really entertaining. They did whispers in the wind like Jeff Hardy would expect, and it was a good match like you expected it to be from Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy. They put on a great show, and I thought it was really good, and the ending was phenomenal in my opinion. I thought it was really good. There were no botches in this match, really. It was a whisper in the wind. It was moonsaults. It was all this kind of stuff that you could think of. Randy Orton had his offensive move. They had their spot in the match, you know, so, and they really capitalized on that. And Randy Orton, the way this match ended, Jeff Hardy was going for a twist of fate, spinned off, and Randy Orton RKO'd him for the 1-2-3. Really good match. I thought it was very entertaining. And now we get to the main event, the 2008 Royal Rumble match. You see this guy, he decided to return at number 30. Now, this was a very entertaining Royal Rumble, especially to start off with. You had Undertaker and Shawn Michaels to start off the Royal Rumble. I mean, that's what's more grander to see 1 and 2, Shawn Michaels and Undertaker. And there was some really good spots in this Royal Rumble, especially Shawn Michaels eliminating Undertaker and then Kennedy eliminating Shawn Michaels. Mr. Kennedy was the bomb in WWE, and now he freaking sucks. Now he's with the Aces and Eights in TNA, which is getting on my nerves. And Jeff Hardy, I cannot stand him in TNA. Only in WWE, a lot of these guys. And I don't have anything against TNA. I'm actually going to go see a show, and you're probably going to be like, oh, man, feel bad for you. But anyway, Batista was number 4. I think they capitalized on good entrance at different times. So, like, if somebody was having their spot all of a sudden, so if a heel was having their spot and they were dominating, then a face would come in and, like, ruin, and they would steal their lightning and thunder. And then it'd be the vice versa. And I think that was really timed really well. I mean, they had jobbers in at the right time when they should have, where it could be eliminated, like Carlito, although Carlito isn't a jobber. Chavo Guerrero, all those kind of guys that could easily get eliminated and stuff like that. So I think it was good. They didn't use Shelton Benjamin correctly in this match when he got eliminated, but it did give him a spot where he jumped up and he got kicked out of the ring by Shawn Michaels. And Rip Umaga, by the way, I keep looking at him because Umaga's got freaking Rey Mysterio hung up in the thing. I wish I could do something like that to my classmates. God, Jesus, I can think of a lot of people in my class on the bus, man. The teacher wouldn't know, but anyway, that's my Royal Rumble 2008 review, and John Cena won. I can't specify that enough. But yeah, this is a really good pay-per-view. I enjoyed it. I loved the pay-per-view. I like the glow of the pay-per-view as well, like the Madison Square Garden glow of the Royal Rumble. I thought it was really good. And if you enjoyed this, give it a like rating. I'm not going to tell you what to do, like always. And if you like to, please subscribe. But again, not going to tell you what to do. So that's Codebreaker146. And I have left the building.